The concept of the five aggregates, also known as the five skandhas in Buddhist philosophy, offers profound insight into the nature of human existence and the root of attachment and suffering. These aggregates are form, feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. Together, they constitute the entire framework of a person's physical and mental experience. However, when we become attached to any of these, we create suffering and a false sense of self. Understanding each aggregate in depth helps in loosening this attachment and cultivating greater wisdom and liberation. Form, rupa, refers to the physical body and all material phenomena. It includes the five physical sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, as well as the external objects they perceive, such as sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and tactile sensations. We become attached to form when we identify with our own body or become overly attached to the bodies of others, including relationships or possessions. We often think, "This is mine," or "this is me," leading to pride, fear, or grief when that form changes or is lost. This attachment to the physical world creates a false sense of permanence in what is inherently impermanent. Feeling, or vedana, arises as the immediate response to contact with sense objects. These feelings are categorized as pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Attachment to pleasant feelings results in craving and clinging, while aversion to unpleasant feelings gives rise to hatred and resistance. Neutral feelings often lead to ignorance or indifference. The deeper problem arises when we chase after pleasure or flee from pain, driven by underlying tendencies of greed and aversion. Equanimity, responding to all feelings with balance and awareness, helps us transcend this attachment. Mental formations, or sankhara, are the volitional thoughts, intentions, emotions, and habitual tendencies that shape our actions and reactions. They represent the psychological activities that color our responses to the world. Often we become deeply attached to our ideas, beliefs, and desires, assuming that our perspective is correct and dismissing others. This clinging to one's views and intentions reinforces the illusion of a fixed self. Understanding that mental formations are conditioned and impermanent helps us become more open-minded and compassionate. Perception, or sana, is the process of recognizing and labeling what we experience through our senses. It is how we interpret the world based on past experiences, cultural conditioning, and mental habits. Perception is not absolute truth. It is shaped by the other aggregates, especially feeling and mental formations. We often mistake perception for reality, leading to misjudgments and misunderstandings. True insight comes from recognizing that our perception is just one possible interpretation among many, and cultivating openness to different perspectives fosters greater harmony. Consciousness, or vijnana, is the awareness or knowing faculty that arises with any sensory or mental experience. It is dependent on the other aggregates and does not exist independently. We often mistake this consciousness as the unchanging self or final truth. However, consciousness is also impermanent and conditioned. Realizing that consciousness is a process rather than a permanent self allows us to loosen our attachment and glimpse the infinite nature of truth. In summary, while these five aggregates are essential to our experience of life, attachment to them causes suffering. By observing their impermanent, conditioned nature, we can begin to let go of clinging and develop wisdom. This understanding is a crucial step toward spiritual freedom and a more compassionate, awakened life.